Today we'll see the network analysis. This is not the electrical network analysis. This is network analysis with respect to entrepreneurship, with respect to business, with respect to management, with respect to projects. So basically this network analysis helps us in identifying the hidden stages involved in project estimates. That means we'll come to know what are the minor steps, what are the each and every minor step involved in the project management, so that we can correctly estimate the cost of the project. We can correctly estimate the time for the project. Basically, time and cost, these two things are very important for any execution of the project. Therefore, this network analysis helps us in identifying the hidden stages. See, generally, how do we estimate the time? From Gadag to Hubli, if I want to go, how much time you require to travel by bus from Gadag to Hubli? Sneha,
Yes, sir.
how much time you require to travel from Gadag to Hubli?
You have, sir.
2 hours?
Many times.
How it is 2 hours? Yeah.
1 hour, I think.
You have you ever traveled to Gadag by non-stop bus? Gadag to,
Yeah.
how much time it takes generally?
Generally 1 hour 30 minutes.
1 hour 30 minutes. Correct. Yeah. This is what happens even in estimation of the time for project execution. So generally we talk very roughly the time. Traveling from Gadag to Hubli, it means not only from Gadag bus stand to Hubli bus stand. It is from our home to bus stand, waiting period, plus traveling, and in between if something happens, if there is a traffic jam, we have to count the time for that also. We have to have the reserve. Then once we get down at the Hubli bus stop, then from Hubli to the last point where you would like to go. Maybe you are going for a marriage, you are going for a function, you are going for your relative's house. So that time, that is the meaning of traveling from Gadag to Hubli. It is not nobody travels from Gadag bus stand to Hubli bus stand, is it not? They don't have anything. They don't have any work from bus stand to bus stand. So what we mean, I'm going to Hubli, it does not mean I'm going to Hubli bus stand. I'm going to a particular place in Hubli through all this travel. This is what network analysis helps us in understanding the intricate parts, subsections of each and every step in time estimation as well as cost estimation, money. So that by doing this, the management can improve the quality of the execution for ongoing projects. So to do this network analysis, following points are considered. They are: the whole project has to be considered with reference to sequence of activities and events. Sequence of activities and events. All the activities must be very clearly spelt, very clearly listed, so that we don't miss a single step or event in executing the project. The events should be considered as different branches of operation. Events are to be considered as different branches of operation. Think of construction of the road construction, Pune Bangalore Highway, NH4. We are constructing the road. Look at the various coordination is required to be done from the machine side, from the people side, from the raw material side, as well as the traffic, as well as so many things will come into picture. All these events and everything has to happen sequentially. If I am constructing the road, to construct the road, first of all, we need to dig the existing road. Then we have to remove. Then later on, bring all the material, store at a place. Coordination of the transport department, coordination of the raw material department. And we have to take only half of the road for construction, not the full road. If we take the complete road for construction, then a road becomes blocked. No connection between 2 points. Therefore, always while constructing the roads, they take only half for repair or newly constructing it. Later on, they shift to the other part. So, all these events are to be properly considered. The different segments of the projects are treated as separate network. Suppose in case of road construction, bringing the raw material is a separate line of action. When, how, where, all these questions are asked to that particular line of activities. Similarly, arranging the labor, that is also one line of action. In that way, different segments of the projects are treated as separate network. Why we are talking of network? Because this, by doing this network analysis, we are trying to estimate the time and money as accurately as possible. And considering all these different segments, then finally we integrate it over a common network. Then really we'll come to know what happens when, at what cost. The time estimates may be done based on the previous experience. Cost estimates would depend upon the project time estimates. See, cost has direct relation with time. If a project is taking longer time means cost is generally more, because every day there is a cost. So cost estimates takes care of the time estimates. And time estimates depends upon the capacity of the contractor. Capacity of the contractor. If the contractor is class 1 contractor or class A contractor, he may be having all the infrastructure for taking up this project. If Class C contractor is participating in the tenders, he may not be having sufficient facilities to take care of this project. The physical progress of the project, nature of the events, job formed, and snags in the different areas would call for corrective action at appropriate time. Once this network analysis is done, we come to know on what date, what activity is going to happen, what event is going to take place. So accordingly, we monitor it. Accordingly, we see the progress, and if the progress is not as per the schedule, then corrective actions are to be taken so that further planning is not hampered. While doing this, we have two different network analysis techniques. The first one is PERT, P-E-R-T, PERT, P-E-R-T. The long form of PERT is Program Evaluation and Review Technique. Program Evaluation and Review Technique. Let us see what it means. PERT, Program Evaluation and Review Technique. PERT schedules the sequence of activities to be completed in order to accomplish the project within a short period of time. It helps to reduce both cost and time of the project. This particular technique, this particular PERT technique helps us to schedule the sequence of activities. Logically, all the activities are laid down, and all these activities are to be completed so that project is finished within the stipulated time. Why it needs to be done? It's very simple. Let us take a common example. Engineering degree is of 4 years. If we complete the degree in 4 years, it is the appropriate time. If somebody plans to complete it in 5 years, we are taking more time. More time means more cost, which is not effective. It is also a project. This is also a project. So this PERT helps us to reduce cost and time of the project. What are the steps involved? Step number 1, the activities involved in the projects are drawn up in a sequential relationship to show which activity follows what. Yes, all the activities are listed and they are sequentially connected, one after another. There is no bypassing of any activity. This is done, and very clearly after what activity the next activity should take place. Without constructing the wall, without constructing the wall, we cannot do plastering. Without plastering, we cannot do painting. Are you getting this example? So painting activity cannot come as a first activity. First activity should be constructing the wall, then plastering the wall, then painting the wall. Time and money. Step number 2, the time required for completing each activity of the project is estimated and noted on the network. Yes, constructing the wall, 20 days. Plastering the wall, 7 days. Painting the wall, 2 days. Time. This time required for each of the activities noted on the network. Step number 3 is the critical activities of the projects are determined. Critical activities of the project are determined. Always in any project, there are critical activities which are to be taken with most more care. In constructing a house, the most critical part of the house is the bathroom and toilet. If proper care is not taken, what will happen is the leakage and seepage will start. So in the similar way, take any project, there will be some critical activities which are to be taken carefully. The step number 4 is the visibility of the project duration and probability of the project completion in a given time period are calculated. Yes, by doing all this analysis, before actually entering into the real project execution, we can see everything happening on paper. Maybe I'm starting building a dam in the year 2022, January 1st. So all the planning is done on paper, and one can really see what is going to happen when and what costs in what sequence, all these things. That's called a blueprint. Cost also can be calculated, time also can be calculated by using this PERT, program evaluation and review technique. And because experts are involved in this, experience matters. Experts know how much time it's going to take and what might be the cost in 2022, year 2022. So advantages of PERT, it determines the expected time required for completing each activity, correct? It gives us an idea how much time is required for completing each activity. It helps in completion of the project within an expected time period. It also gives us overall complete project execution can be done in what amount of time. Maybe roughly if I calculate to construct a bridge, it requires 4 years. But actually when we put all the activities on paper, it might say it is going to take 4.5 years. So it gives a fair estimation of time period for the completion of the project. It helps the management in handling uncertainties involved in the project. Yes. What are the uncertainties? I am planning to attend an interview at Hubli, 11 o'clock, and knowing what that travel time required is 2 hours, I have started Gadag at 9 o'clock. And my plan is to reach by before 11 o'clock because 2 hours is more than sufficient. But we have not thought of uncertainties. If there is a tire puncture of the bus, if there is a traffic jam, that time we have not counted. So such things are also taken care in PERT technique. Uncertainties involved in the project because we really don't know what is going to happen the next moment. It enables detailed planning of the activities. Certainly, yes. Detailed planning of all the activities done in this PERT. It stresses for correct action at a given time period, thereby helping the project to be completed on time. Immediately corrective action are to be taken. If there is a bus puncture, what should be done? If you are on an important job, what you should do is you should not worry about the money there, you should worry about the time. Immediately you must take another bus and proceed, because that bus might take 1 hour to remove the puncture and again start traveling. In that way, PERT analysis helps us in noting down the uncertainties and taking care of the corrective actions so that the project is completed in time, which is the motive of the. Then there are some limitations. Just now we saw advantages. Now let us look at limitations. Limitations means some disadvantages of this PERT technique. Limitations: difficulty to provide realistic, correct estimate for new activities in the absence of past data. Yes, based on the experience, expertise, we can nearly estimate those activities wherein the expertise is there. And if it is something new, it is very difficult to estimate the time and cost for that particular activity which is new for us. That is one of the limitation, because there is no past data is available, no past experience is required, no past experience is required. There is no provision in this technique about requirement of resources at various activities. In this particular technique, it only estimates the time and money. Time, money. It does not estimate what kind of resources required at each stage. That is one of the disadvantage. Resources, maybe raw material, maybe people, maybe machines, maybe other infra. It does not estimate that. That is a disadvantage of this technique. Then the third disadvantage is, for the effective control of project using PERT, it calls for frequent updates and revision of calculations, which is a costly affair. Yes, because it is not considering certain factors like resources, it is not considering. As the time goes on, it calls for revision of the time, thus revision of the cost, revision of the time and the revision of the cost. Therefore, entire calculation is to be redone again and again. If one parameter changes, entire calculation again changes. Therefore, it is a time consuming process and it is a costly affair. Wherever there is a time, there is a cost. So these are some of the disadvantages or limitations of the PERT technique. Next, let us see the second technique. Second technique in network analysis, that is called as CPM. The first one was PERT, second one is CPM. CPM, critical path method. Critical path method. There is a meaning in the heading itself. Critical path method. Yes, keep this word in your mind. Let us try to understand the concept of CPM. Critical path method. It is something like, to go to Bangalore from Gadag, there are different roads. There are different roads. First road is go to Hubli and from Hubli to Bangalore. Second, go to Lakshmeshwar, then go to Bangalore. Third, go to Hospet and go to Bangalore. Fourth, fifth, likewise we find various options in achieving the same result by different ways, different paths. So out of this, which one is the most critical? Which one is the most economical? Which one is the most optimum, taking less time, less cost? That is called optimum. This CPM was first developed by DuPont USA. DuPont, DuPont. DuPont is a very big company involved in execution of the projects in almost all areas. Very big company. This CPM technique was first introduced by DuPont USA in 1956 for doing periodic overhauling and maintenance of a chemical plant. Yes, this concept was introduced for overhauling of a plant and maintenance of chemical plant. Then later on it was extended for the project executions. So this is the history of CPM. CPM was first developed by DuPont USA in 1956 for doing periodic overhauling, periodic overhauling and maintenance of chemical plants, maintenance of chemical plants. What are the advantages of this CPM? Let's see. It helps in ascertaining, it helps in ascertaining, understanding the time schedule of activities having sequential relationship. Ascertain, estimate. It helps us in estimating the time schedule of activities having sequential relationship. Sequential relationship. First complete stage 1, what is the time? Then this is taken to stage 2, what is the time? There is a sequence between A and B. After the first sequence is completed, this will go into the second phase of operation. It makes control easy for the management because we know the sequence and because we know the time, how much time it is required to come out of that particular activity. So it helps management to estimate the time. It defines most critical elements of the project. Also through this CPM, critical elements of the projects can be noted, identified, so that proper care is taken at the critical elements, execution of the critical projects. It makes room for detailed and better planning. CPM also allows us to give to look at what is important, what is urgent, what is not important, what is not urgent. So all the activities can be divided into 4 different parts. Some activities are urgent and important. They are treated as critical. So care has to be taken to execute them. And some activities are not important and not urgent. Yes, they can happen later on. So sequentially, these things are to be Sequentially, these things are to be connected. These activities are to be connected one another, and estimate of time can be calculated as accurately as possible. There are some limitations of this CPM. What are they? This operation CPM operation, this CPM operates on the assumption that there is a precise known time for each activity. This CPM technique operates on one assumption that we know how much is the exact time required for completing this activity, each activity. So it assumes that, presumes that. But in reality, it doesn't happen. In reality, accurate estimation cannot be done. That is one of the disadvantage. Second disadvantage is CPM estimates are not based on any statistical analysis. CPM estimates are not based on any statistical analysis. Statistical analysis means it doesn't have any mathematical modeling. Same activity, to construct 1 kilometer of road, to construct 1 kilometer of road in Gadag district may take less time when compared to construct 1 kilometer road by the same contractor. See, here we are talking about the contractor having the same capacity. One project he has done in Gadag, construction of 1 kilometer road, good quality road. Same quality of road he needs to now construct in hilly areas such as Himachal Pradesh, such as Sikkim. Road is same, 1 kilometer. Contractor is same, 1 kilometer. But things differ now because the location is different. There, the coordination becomes different, conditions become different. Therefore, we cannot have a standard assumption that this is going to happen in the same time. What was happened in Gadag? This cannot be used as a controlling device because any change introduced will change the entire structure of the network. Yes, keeping CPM at the top management, they cannot use this tool as a controlling device. So they cannot ask the project group, project team, that the plan was given by you, therefore you need to execute it as per the schedule. That cannot happen because it doesn't consider, take care of good morning sir, here class number. हाँ 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 ಬರ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ ಒಂದು 15 ನಿಮಿಷ. Yes, disadvantage of CPM. First, it operates on the assumption that there is a precise known time for each activity, but in reality, that is not true. CPM estimates are not based on any statistical analysis. That means there is no mathematical model for that. And even if it is, it doesn't work out. This cannot be used as a controlling device by the management because any changes introduced will change the entire structure of the network. Yeah, construction which was happened in Gadag, same formula cannot be applied to other places. Therefore, that is one of the disadvantage of this CPM technique. So just now we saw what is called network analysis, what points are to be, what points this network analysis consists. There are two ways, two methods of network analysis related to you. It is PERT, Program Evaluation and Review Technique. Second one is CPM, Critical Path Method, the disadvantages and advantages of both. Now let us see the differences between PERT and CPM. What are the main differences between these two? PERT and CPM. Now let me give this differences. Under PERT, PERT is military origin. PERT is military origin, whereas CPM industry origin. PERT was originated by military organizations, whereas CPM was originated by industries. PERT, event-oriented approach, event-oriented approach, events have to happen. Events are in a big scale. Event is like gathering is an event. Whereas CPM is activity-oriented approach. Yes, in gathering, what are the activities you are going to do? Each activity is the time for each activity is taken care. Whereas the event is in a large scale. PERT is event-oriented, CPM is activity-oriented approach. PERT allows uncertainty, CPM does not allow. PERT has three time estimates. PERT has three time estimates. CPM has only single time estimate. PERT has three time estimate, means low, medium, and high. It can be done at this time or this or this. That's the PERT method. PERT is time based. PERT is time based. See, look at the origin. PERT is originated by military. Their cost does not matter. It's time based. They want this to happen in the next 24 hours. Cost is not a factor. Time is a factor. CPM is cost based because it is industry related. Cost matters there. PERT, probabilistic method, whereas CPM, deterministic method. PERT, no demarcation between critical and non-critical activities. Under PERT, there is no difference between critical and non-critical activities, whereas in CPM, it marks the critical activities. PERT averages time. CPM does not. PERT is suitable where high precision is required in time estimate. Where high precision in time estimate is required, go for PERT. CPM is suitable where requirement of the precision is reasonable. Rough estimate if you want to go for CPM. Where high precision is required, time is very important, then go for PERT. So these are few of the differences. I have noted 8, 9 differences between PERT and CPM. So these are the network techniques, network analysis techniques for execution of the project. So with this, I am ending this particular chapter. As well as I am happy to announce that your syllabus is completed as per the scheduled V2 syllabus. So now what remains is efforts from your side. This is a very simple subject, scoring subject, useful for lifetime, useful for lifetime, not only for the graduation. All this knowledge you can use for lifelong, lifelong. So make use of this particular subject as one of the scoring subject in your fifth semester and start studying systematically. So even the syllabus is completed, I will be keeping you engaged. Keep attending the classes. We'll discuss the important things in the syllabus and other activities we can do through this subject. So I wish a happy new year, prosperous and happy new year for all of you. We are away since almost 7 months. I think after March, you are all locked at home. May this 2021 give freedom to all of us so that we can move around. Even otherwise, nothing stops you in studying. You are fortunate to have all these electronic gadgets, the internet with you. Start studying, keep yourself busy so that you can see your future as you expect. So plan your future and go towards it. Thank you. With this, I am ending this class and we'll meet again during our next scheduled class. Thank you. You can leave the class.